Hi there, my name is Will Taylor from Compassa, and I've had an excellent question from a student who's just finished our NEBOSH HSE Introduction to Incident Investigation, say that 10 times fast, video e-learning course. And here he writes in, he says, please can you advise me on the following conundrum? I have used the lessons learnt on the investigation course to great effect. The riddle is, my investigations sometimes show that staff are careless and have not followed company procedure or policy or procedure. For example, a refuse driver recently reversed down an alley into a parked car. The two assistants did not act as banksmen, which they are supposed to. The driver did not use the reversing assistance, which he was supposed to. The parked car was clearly visible in the rear reversing camera. Several months earlier, all staff were given a toolbox talk on the importance of not reversing without a banksman, a common problem we are trying to address. He goes on to say, understandably, management will want to hold the negligent parties to account, and herein lies the problem, or lays the problem. My pre-brief before the interview clearly states we are not looking for anyone to blame, etc. If the management subsequently disciplined them by giving them a written warning based on their negligence, and the evidence they helped me collate, it contradicts what I promised at the start of the interview, that it's not about blame. I have found that by stating that we are not out to blame them really does make a huge difference. Staff are really open and helpful, so I can see the benefits in using it. However, staff would rightly feel deceived if they are later disciplined. I would be interested in your thoughts. So, well, for me, this is quite simply a misunderstanding, a very common misunderstanding between blame and accountability. It is true that witness interviews and investigations are not about blame. An investigation is not about blame. Blame is something which is unfair, and it's often disproportionate. You see, most accidents, not all, but most, involve a number of players. There are a number of different people involved, and they all contribute to some extent to the incident. It could include the injured person. It could include their supervisor, the manager. It could be a senior manager in there. It could be you. You as the health and safety professional might have played a part in this for your own failures. An investigation is supposed to be focused on learning lessons. So that's true. And that's the opposite of blame. You know, blame is when you are focused on blaming everything on a person or a group of people, where you refuse to look at the lessons that could be learned by the organisation and the management team. So blame is going straight for individual people or a small team of people. And then often that leads to a disproportionate punishment. You know, you punish them disproportionately, treat them harshly. There's a difference between blame and accountability. Accountability is fair. You hold people to account. And the punishment should be proportionate to the seriousness of their failure. Now, does this make a real difference when you're doing an interview? Well, no, because most people don't understand the difference between blame and accountability. If we say to people, we're not out to blame you, very often they will understand, they will take that to mean that they are not going to be in trouble no matter what they did. And that is not the meaning that you are trying to communicate. You are trying to say to them, listen, we're not out to get you. We're not out to unfairly punish you. We're not trying to pin the blame on anyone here. But, and it's an important but this, there may be failures by individual people, and it may be appropriate to hold them to account. You need to get both meanings across. It's important that people feel comfortable in a witness interview, comfortable enough to open up and share with you, be honest with you, and admit where they might have gone wrong. And at the same time, we don't want to mislead them. We don't want to give them the impression that they could behave recklessly and there's not going to be any accountability for that. So we want to try and achieve both things. So I would suggest to this person here, what you need to do is you need to change your pre-interview script. Instead of saying, listen, we're not out to blame, please be open and honest and all of that, you say, listen, we're not out to blame any one particular person. We're not out to get you. We are genuinely focused on learning lessons to see how the people, the team, the management, the organization might improve. So it's not about unfairly blaming anyone. Where people have made mistakes, it may be appropriate that we do look to hold them to account, but that is not the primary focus of this exercise. Can I please count on you to answer the questions as openly and as honestly as you can? Yes, fantastic. And then you move on. So what have we done there? We've explained that we're not out to blame people. We've communicated the emphasis on learning lessons and helping people improve. We dropped in there, and where people have made mistakes, we may need to hold them to account. And we then used a very strategic but word, but. Now, if you do our Managing People Effectively course, you'll learn all about the power of the word but and where you should and shouldn't use it. So you say, right, so we may need to hold people to account, but delete that. Focus the attention on what comes next, but that's not the primary goal. The primary goal is to try to learn lessons as much as we can. So hopefully if you're able to deliver that patter, that's what I call patter. If you can deliver that well, the person should feel suitably reassured that you're not out to get them, and you've also kind of given them a little bit of a warning to say, yeah, and we might hold people to account. So that means that they can't come back to you and say, you lied, you told me I wouldn't get disciplined. They can't come back and say that. So hopefully that's helpful to you. If anyone's interested in studying our NEBOSH video e-learning course, it's the only video e-learning course for the NEBOSH Incident Investigation Award. Please connect with me on LinkedIn or drop a comment or send a message. I'll drop a link to the course below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, connect with me on LinkedIn. Catch you later.